Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News, and this is News and Trivia Nights. I think it's one of our funnest nights, but I got a lot of serious news tonight to go over. One that was just recently, within the last hour that was sent to me, and so I'm going to have to bring it forward to you guys. It has to do with a lot of independent journalists and Operation Mockingbird, where it is went to an intelligence tech thing. So I'll explain this to you before we get into trivia and we wait for everybody to get in to play a little bit of trivia. The report isn't all that long. Um, William, I should have sent this one to you because boy, this is something. So we have William and Karen in our chat room and ready to battle it out for our trivia. Tonight is a little mixed bag for trivia. So first, I want to get this out. The deep state censorship. Um, you know, um, we know it's deep. We know there's political opponents to this, and we basically we can't think it'll get much worse. But we know they're heading towards censorship, not only of our First Amendment rights, but the churches. I think is their next where they're going to start shooting the darts at us. So a new report from Reclaimed the Net claims that Biden now is about to sign a contract with Data Miner, which is a license deal for a company product that's used to monitor social media. Um, Now, if you've heard about this, I hadn't. Honestly, I have not heard about this till today. So if you heard it on other platforms, let me know because you might have extra info that could add to this. Because when I looked at this, a lot of intel stuff, and on electronics and censorship, and I know censorship, intel and how it works. I'm a little like military. That's why I have William. uh, and I use my computer guy to normally muddle me through a lot of this, but I didn't have time, so I kind of went through and seen what I could do with the story. Now, so basically this will give them the power to monitor over 200,000 on-source data. Um, and this is the White House that's going to do it. And they're going to leap into action basically to censor everything that they can um, based on what they see after this whole election process has been done. It'll the in depth of the intel censorship will depend on which way the Senate and the House goes. Because if they don't have the Senate and the House, they can't push these bills forward of censorship to who? The independent media, which is me. I told you guys I'm not going to go away. I'll find some way to get to you guys, whether it's Facebook or another platform, Rumble, or but this is who they're all going after. Um, and we're going to have to see what they do after we get all the numbers in. So maybe what they're going to do is set up a whole new office that's going to be monitoring all of everybody, and those being censored are going to be deplatformed or punished socially. Now, this is part of ESG also. Now, a lot of this information has been brought out by Dr. Shiva um, Ayadora, and he has uncovered the deep censorship infrastructure between big state and big tech and the federal government. Now, he's uncovered just how deep this state infrastructure actually is. Um, so the administration is looking to monitor over 200,000 sources of data. So this probably doesn't surprise you. But if it's basically this data miner, it's a tool that they're going to be using. And I didn't understand this whole thing with the tool. I might have to have quite a few of people I talk to look into this data miner tool. It's going to be, they're going to be using it for a licensing deal. And about 30 different licenses are going to go with this. And what's fascinating about this is um, the science and technology standpoint basically was dated back to 1993. Okay. And Dr. Shiva has brought this forward. And he said he actually heard a lot of this back then. Now, who was in office in 93? None other than the Clintons. And who were the Clintons rubbing elbows with? None other than China. This has been a plan that has been implemented and used in China. So basically, when the Clintons' office, um, when they were in office, they were looking in some of this legitimate ways and legitimate uses for this. Um, I knew they were up to something as far as Intel, but, we're talking 1993. We're talking PlayStation, where there wasn't really computers that were really out back then. It was very new to everybody. We all didn't have cell phones to be able to bring up everything that we could see right now. Now, I knew the Clintons were there, like I said, rubbing elbows with the Chinese government, which I'm going to say the CCP. So they now have got it to where it works in China. So now it's surfacing at certain levels here in the United States. And the threats to the United States citizens, now these technologies like a data miner are put into kind of like a factor, they say. And U.S. citizens is basically going to be like China, they're going to snub our freedom of speech. Now, if you're wondering, if you're just now coming in, I'm going to stop there for a second. Um, uh, this was put in, like I said, during the Clinton administration. It was supported and pushed through with Obama. Now, what did Obama do? Remember the FISA courts? When they went to spy on Trump. Well, the other thing they pushed past through was to be able to spy on not only the government offices that he had anything to do with, but individuals that he was doing business with. So what they did is it was basically supported by Obama, and they put in being able to spy on United States citizens. This is what Obama did. So now we're moving into Biden, and I'm going to try not to do this for too long, guys. Um, so now that we got Biden in office, he has got obviously he's got the government, he's got a protection from foreign adversaries, he technologies and intelligence. He's got the Department of Justice, the DNI. Everything he has done, he has put in place to be able to, and we knew this was going to happen, folks, to where we would be censored our First Amendment rights. And what it does is I think they gave up on the Second Amendment, but they're really going to attack us on First Amendment rights, which means they're also going to be attacking the churches. So this entire system of technology is a system network of operations involving basically the academia, they say. It involves the government and private companies where you can launder censorships, but tools like this data miner. And this has been around for a very long time. It was MIT that put this together in 1981. So you can see they've been working on this for a long time. Now, in 1981, then we had the Iran-Contra. But with that time, and going into 82 and going into, let me give you a lineup with the Clintons. Like in 1981 to about 1985, they were really dealing with Barry Seal. But it was like, hey, we got stuff going out there, and, we're not going to tell you what we're doing behind closed doors. Well, when they moved into 85 to 90s, when they decided that they were grooming Bill Clinton, and not only Bill Clinton, but they were grooming Hillary for office. Bill Clinton is a playboy, and he was a womanizer down here, and they didn't know if it would be Hillary or Clinton. I don't know if you guys knew this. So they were grooming both of them to see who would best fit presidency. Well, since he was so popular, of course, it made sense to put Bill Clinton in office. So, so when we move into 90s and 91, 92, we started seeing a bunch of intelligence and CEOs, type of business owners that flooded Arkansas with that were Chinese. Come to find out, they were part of the CCP and spies. We don't see them much anymore. Pretty much who's left is businessmen that own Chinese buffets. Yeah, like I said, folks, we have been trying to chase out all the Clinton corruption here in Arkansas. And I don't want to get so this here kind of gives you an idea that in 1981, when basically we started seeing an uprise of the NSA and also MIT, and we knew that MIT was going to be great for intel. So it was came together in little pieces. So this data miner, which they say was used by the Air Force for a very long time. It was basically to find foreign adversaries. Well, now they are now have turned it, and they're now using it against the United States citizens through domestic censorship. And they're using infrastructure bills to fund this, to be able to implement it, to go after us. Now, 2020, which allows the government at this layer using a nonprofit and NGOs to launder censorship, basically. It was not only funded by NGOs that were part of different foundations. We're talking like Klaus Schwab, the new Economic Forum, and they're saying even a little bit of NATO. But not only that, but we're finding out DHS was a part of this. And so now we're looking at DHS being a huge part of censorship. And so now you know why. Remember that creepy little lady that was going to go to the border and she was going to do all that stuff at the border? They were going to make her border czar. Well, this was only to give the funding for this office to be able to give DHS the power and the funding to be able to start going after the United States citizens for censorship. So this is just there's a big iceberg with this. Now, the academic organizations who created many of these systems, basically, there's many of them, folks. And I'm going to say the best way to get all the details, if this is what you're interested in, is to go to winbackfreedom.com. This is where Dr. Shiva gives all this info so that you guys know I'm just not making all this up. You can go to winbackfreedom.com and see exactly what I'm saying. Now, out of what we're seeing, this big tech infrastructure, they have been really working hard on it for the last 2 years. And now they're to the point where they have the government and Hillary and Bill Clinton lawyers to basically push this in and make the laws on it. Now, realize, folks, they have got a pack of lawyers that do nothing but look up ways to infiltrate and put us into a Marxist, fascism, communist country. Get this. They have been doing this. And when Dr. Shiva started looking into this, he found out that according to not only the Constitution, but laws that have been made in this country, it is, and it's been discovered that they're not supposed to be monitoring U.S. citizens. It's a violation of the First Amendment. So this is why they were trying to get rid of it. So I'm skimming through this really quick. I'm not going to go too much longer because Judith's going to win tonight. So what it basically we found out is when Nixon was in office, he said that um, that they had this little phrase. I'm trying to look for it really quick. Um, um, the term came out of the Nixon Watergate tapes, and apparently Nixon knew what he was talking about, and it's something that has been used. So this goes all the way back to Nixon, folks. Okay, and I don't want to. I know I went from the Clintons back to Nixon, but I really want you guys to understand this. And what they did is they found out that they could um, um, use a small piece of a saying. And William, you probably even know about this. They use little code words. You know, we see it in the movies. Well, this code word was, oh boy, I lost it. Hangout. Okay, there we go. Hangout. And now I'm finding out that Hillary found out about this word, hangout, from the whole Nixon thing because it came out during Watergate. Well, Hillary was a part of Watergate, if you guys don't know. The judge dismissed her, scolded her for trying to bring in false information into Watergate. So she went out. So this word hangout, this has been being used quite a long time, decades. And what it does is it basically the term of politics among it defines intelligence professionals that's limited hangout whenever one's veil of secrecy is penetrated. Spies or politicians can employ misdirections to distract the public. The technique involves disclosing self-contained and sensational relatively versions of a story, and to lay out all the cards on the table, and basically concerning that anyone who is trying to hide out anything is learning that they can do this. Now what did I just read you? So they can use this hangout, and they can send out, these whistleblowers, they all know they're all part of this program, and they're paid handsomely for this. So what they do is they say, hang out. Yeah, there's that little word. And what they can do is even the media uses this. So what they can do is while they're doing something secret over here, the media is on to chaos. And then all of a sudden, then we see a whistleblower that comes out and says, oh, this is going on. This is allowed under this little bit of intel that has been sewn into our Department of Justice. So they can make, and not only that, but it's backed by the DHS. And so leaks is presented to the public to modify moves with no real scrutiny. No one's going to know what we're doing over here. Now, I know you guys have known about this. I've told you that they're quiet here. You got chaos over here. You know they're doing something. Well, the code word, they use code words for this, and it's to withhold information. But they'll hide the information, they'll withhold the information, and lo and behold, then we see a whistleblower come out. Isn't that what we're seeing? And so you say, what has this got to do with freedom of information? This is a way for them to put DHS in control of basically freedom of speech, because they're going to claim all this was lies. And I do recommend you guys go and listen to Dr. Shiva. Find him online and listen to him on this, because he really explains it, that this has been a covert activity, not only from the NSA, but the Department of Justice, all the way to FBI. And so does it make a lot of sense why they do what they're doing to us? And eventually, this is to implement, and going all the way back to the Clintons again, to bring in, to cut out our freedom of speech and to be able to control what's on the media. And they can lie. Okay, this is another part of this program where, you know how we know the media is just lying? It's like, how can they get away with lying like that? This is why. This is why. And they're allowed to. And who protects them? DHS, folks. You know, don't go blaming Mayorkas and Garland and all that. It's DHS is protecting this at this point, and they're getting money to implement cutting out our freedom of speech and then going after the churches. All right, so I hope I explain this to you. I am going to. I'm going to, in our Williams song list, I'm going to put the clip in there for you guys to listen to this from Dr. Shiva. He was on, um, he's been on a lot of platforms of the last couple days. I believe it's the best interview was on Redacted. So I'm going to put that on there. I will put it on for you guys over in Facebook, but listen to him and listen to what he says. It makes a lot of sense because if we don't stand up and do something now, they're going to start going after our churches. Now, freedom of speech is one thing, but when they do like they did the Uyghurs, we need to start worrying about this. All right. So, 9/11 allowed DHS. Yes, Linda, you got a really good point there because this program also kicked into high gear as a 9/11 program. This is why I say you guys need, I'll always turn y'all on to some really good videos that really explain this because this isn't getting out to the mainstream media, folks, and it needs to be. Why aren't they? I shake this every day that I just want to shake this media and say, well, even Fox News, why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you warning us about this? Um, and then, I go to other independent channels and they're still talking about the election. And I'm like, this is breaking news today. Forget. We'll know who makes it in the next few days. This is important. What quite a few stories I have done, news stories I've done this last week is important, folks. And it just this would, my dad was a big news buff. This would break his heart that they're not getting the viewers, the info of what's really going on. That we have to have a platform to where we can give you guys the truth in news. Uh, all right, so let's get on with some trivia. I say Judith's going to get this. It's a little bit harder tonight, though. Boy, I went back and looked at it. And I said, "Ooh, I think I made these too hard." And then thought, no, I think quite a few of you will do just fine. All right, so let's get on to the first trivia question. All right, how many sides a heptagon has? Do you know what I was like, I don't even know what the heck a heptagon is. Is there such thing? Oh yeah, I went and looked it up. There's a heptagon out there. I didn't have no clue. So take a stab at it. How many sides does a heptagon have? Um, so um, so we got Mary. Oh heck, there you go. Mary, you're gonna have to message me or something that has your number on it because I think I've got your phones confused. So uh, how many sides does a heptagon have? Uh, so here we go. I'm going to give you guys the answer. Well, I don't know. Is anybody going to take a stab at it? Over on Facebook, jump in there. Jump in on Facebook and throw your answer out there. If you're in the car, keep track of it. This is something to listen to, something fun on the way home on a Friday night. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Here we go. Going, gone. The answer is 7. The answer is 7. Judith, you were close. You were the first one to jump in there. Karen, did you know that or were you guessing? All right, let's go to the next one. Boy, I think that was a hard one for you guys. All right, on to the next one. Every action, now you guys think hard on this. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Who proposed this law? Who did? I know you guys know this one. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Who's proposed this law? So if you're just watching, do you know this one? Huh? All right. So we do have some other news. Um, the LA District Attorney quietly dropped charges against China leaked election company that have meddled into our elections for a very long time. It reported, I think I reported this early October, that a Chinese national was accused of theft of personal identifying information. And there was a complaint that was basically, and there was charges, but the DA's office went ahead and dismissed the charges and let him go. And a team of cybersecurity experts that was assessing the data combined on the hard drives and the servers seized it from Connect and Connect with a K. Um, and it seems that Yu's defense attorney was pressuring the DA's office, and they're not sure with what, but it seems like they basically caved. Um, and um, so while he sat in jail, they eventually had him out on bond, but they kept an ankle monitor on him. But now there was rumors that memos from um, the White House went to the DA, and he went ahead and dropped the charges. And so he's free to go. Um, let's see. Let's see what we got. I'm going to throw some of these answers up here. We got that. We got Einstein. We got Newton or Einstein. Uh, Einstein from Mary. Newton from Susan. Boy, you guys, I'm going to have to go through and see who really had the right answer and get these check marks in here. All right. So who is it? I knew you guys would recognize the phrase. So here we go. Um, the answer is Newton. So if you answered Newton, that's it. That was the correct answer. All right, Judith, get in here. I think I think Judith's going to win tonight. It's early. There's still a lot of trivia still out there. All right, so we have Susan and William. It looks like. Um, uh, Now, Susan, Miss Mickey will go over there and she'll steal the answer, and she's whispering it to everybody in the chat room. We got to watch Miss Mickey. She's sneaky like that. Well, I've seen pictures of her. She's got those beady little eyes, with the blacks around it. Yeah, yeah. We have to watch out for her. So, Judith, call her over and ask her, see if she'll whisper some things to you. All right. So the answer is Newton. So let's go on with the next one. We might get through this kind of quicker tonight. Last week, boy, it seemed like we went on for over a half hour getting trivia. Who wrote Around the World in 80 Days? Who wrote that? All right. So the district attorneys quietly, and this isn't just happening in LA, folks. I've heard about it. From Sacramento. I've heard that they're starting to let Chinese. Um, they're in the midst of stealing intelligence out of Chicago and D.C. and New York, and they're just letting them go. And we're not even hearing about it in the news. So now this L.A. district attorney, they got caught up in this. But you know what? They let the guy go. So not so green California, they reject a tax hikes on millionaires. Get this. Aren't they about millionaires and zillionaires? What happened to that? They want to put the money and spend more. Tell me that this isn't just made up by political parties. That they would rather not go after the taxes on millionaires and zillionaires, but put money into EV vehicles and solar and the Green New Deal, and spending more for the next round of the new Green New Deal. Now, folks, I found this out. um, calling oh boy, she's up north, and I don't know if she's going to make it through this election. But there's a few. I'm going to say there's a few Democrats I've called, and I asked them, "How come you're doing some of these things?" And because we don't want this. And the response was, "Well, the candidate or this politician knows what's best for the people in their district, so they're making the choice." So when did that's communist, folks. All right. Anybody knows who this is? Let's see. Mancini, no clue. Um, nobody knows who wrote the Around the World in 80 Days. You guys are going to be going, oh, good grief. Yeah, you're going to be saying good grief like Ellie. All right, let's find this out. Um, that's why I tell you guys to call your politicians. All right, Jules Verne's wrote it. Did you guys? Now you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Jules Verne wrote that, huh? So, yeah, now you guys know. I bet a lot of you see. To me, it was a trick question. It was like, well, if you would ask me some of his other things, I would have known. Boy, yeah. All right. Uh, Come on, Judith, get in there. I know some of this, you know. So now, California voters, and I don't believe this. I don't believe this. I believe this is the politicians doing this. It says California voters reject the tax hike on millionaires to fund EV incentives, and it's California Party. But you know what? I want to ask one of these Democrat men, why are you so into abortions? Because they say that's what passed a lot of the Democrat Party and made it almost even Stevens is because the Democrats want abortions really bad. And then I see men stand in line. I'm like, why do men want abortions? Yeah, uh, those are creepy. That's creepy for men to want and so into abortions that they don't care about their family starving. I mean, I could hear, honey, tonight forget, we're eat hot dogs, macaroni and cheese. That'll be fine. But you know what? I'm going to be worried about abortions all night long. Ah, no. All right, I'm going to go on to this next one. Uh, now, you guys seen this probably in the show notes. There is a couple that's sentenced to decades in prison for trying to pass U.S. nuclear sub-secrets to a foreign country. Now it's about time they do something. Um, Now, this couple, it's a Maryland couple who is admitted to trying to pass U.S. secrets. Um, the Navy nuclear powered submarines has been part of uh, going into effect and being very secretive over the last decade or two. So, a federal judge on Wednesday, he's a former Navy nuclear engineer. Uh, he basically put them 18 years in prison with his wife, and she's a formal school teacher. They're the Toby. That's their last name. Is I think it's Toba B. Pass secrets to someone he thought was an agent of another country, and it turned out it wasn't. So, U.S. District Court Judge Gina Grow in the Northern District of West Virginia sentenced them after rejecting the couple's initial plea. Um, so, we're still, and I bet you they were a big part of the, um, what do you call it? They're going to go to probably some of the hardest prisons. I don't think they're going to go to Guantanamo Bay. I think they're going to hit up a federal prison here, and they're going to do some hard time for this, according to this judge. All right, so um, a long time ago, and see, this is what I thought we'd be able to get the Clintons on. Very long time ago. William, do you remember these guys' names? It was a man and a woman that was selling secrets, and they were charged for espionage and spying. And so it was another couple. Um, so this was a couple that it was selling our submarine secrets, and not only was this guy was actually working for the Navy too. Uh, we just don't know when you let just anybody into the services, anybody. And that's, it seems like what we're doing now. You're going to get people that, money talks, folks. Hey, they offer you 400 or 500 grand. Hey, to go get this for them while you're working. It easily done for someone that's in need of the money. And how much do you want to bet during this hard time we're going to have a lot sold? And we're going to have, we're going to have to look at what is gone to other countries and leaked out. All right, so Jules Verne. I'm going to move on because I know you guys are sick of seeing Jules Verne up there. All right, Flutter is a group name of which beautiful insect creature? Flutter is the name of it. Boy, there's lots of it here tonight with a trivia of groups of what an animal is called. Boy, I had no clue. I was lost. This one I think I knew. I got this one because it's a beautiful insect creature, and it's Flutter is the group name. So pardon if they dip me into me. All right. Supermax, yeah. Mary, what do you think? I think we're going to end up finding quite a few people that sold us out during this hard infrastructure and us going into a depression. I don't know why they don't call it that, you guys. I think we can handle it. And I'm hearing from my ladies in um, DC that the reason they won't call this a depression is they're afraid people would commit suicide. Um, I think this would be. I don't think they will. And the same way with UFOs. Are you guys going to go jump off a bridge because you hear that there's really UFOs? I think everybody'd be interested to find out where they came from. Um, so let's see. We got quite a few. So you guys, I think, know what the answer is. Um, all right, Linda, did we get Linda G in here? Well, you know who's missing is Mary from the list. Mary, you're not on my list, so I can give you points. Jump in there. Push William out of the way and pull Karen's hair and get in there and get these answers. So I think you guys know what the answer is to this. So, see, Judith even got that one. Now, I bet you guys aren't going to get the other ones in a group. They stumped me. This one was easy. So the answer is butterflies. All right. This is, let me move my banner. I should have put that up. Well, I should have put it up higher. So this is the most popular tasty dinner food. I mean, it's number one with a bullet. And I thought it was a hamburger, but it's a close-up shot. What is it? I kind of look at it. I think y'all are going to get this one. This is an easy one. I mean, taste it, smell it, scratch and sniff. Dadgummit, I've said this since the computer systems have come out. I want scratch and sniff on the computer. And I was hoping somebody would come up with it, but no. Because we could put a program in that, if we scratch the screen, a strawberry would be a strawberry. And was that lady and girl in Willy Wonka, snozberry is a snozberry? Yeah, popcorn. Boy. All right, so what do we got here? I think everyone got this one too. Okay. What did Mary did poof on us? So I think everybody knows what this is. It's not, the other ones aren't this easy, but that's a close-up shot. And when it said, first when I seen it, folks, there's another one that it has cornflakes that look just like it. So I was like, oh, there's the cornflake picture, and then it said most popular dinner thing. And I went, oh, well, that's not cornflakes. No. And then I took a look at it and I was like, oh, I know what that is. And I'm starting you off with the easy ones, folks. So the answer is fried chicken for those that are just listening. It was a close-up picture of fried chicken. All right. So on to the next one. All right. This, it can be used as milk or shredded topping. What is it? This is a close-up picture of it. So let's see if you guys can get that one. Um, the um, um, the White House. Now, I'm not sure what's going on. Now, the Ukrainian and Zelensky has been asking for drones, big time for a long time because this is what Russia's using, and basically NATO and the UK and the United States have all said no. They're not going to get these drones, um, and there's no explanation. They just said it's like they almost slammed the door or threw the hand up and said, nope, you're not getting the drones. So, this is something. Now, I've had some emails. Everybody said, did Russia run? Pulling out of Kirsten. Um, what I think is going on is refortifying. Now, we've seen them do this a little while back, and then they came back with as strong as might. Now, the other thing is getting very cold over there. Now, they're saying that now Russia fights their best in the frozen ground where Ukrainians can't. And I think that they might be waiting on this. No, Russia did not run. This was according to generals even on our side, that they're not running, they're just refortifying. William, what do you think? All right, let's see, what do we got here? We have coconut, pumpkin, cheese, almond. You want to? Mary wants to. Mary, I don't think that looks like a snake, a steak, a snake. If that was a steak, I'd be worried because it looks like it has worms on it. All right. So quite a few of you got this one. Um, boy, Judith, you keep going like that, you might, you're going to be caught up with the rest of them. Yeah. So um, now Susan said cheese. Well, I don't know about, you have to kind of look at it and not go on to what it says. Because I know we can make milk out of milk, and then milk makes cheese, also butter. So uh, anyway, now if DB was here. DB, come on, answer. I know he's watching. He watches. All right, the answer is a coconut. So that was a coconut up close. For those listening, that was a coconut up close. Who presented the theory of evolution? Everybody knows this one. I know it. Listen, I know what's going to come up, and it's all going to go fling, fling, fling on my chat room there. Who presented the theory of evolution? This is an easy one. I think I hear it being yelled from cars on the freeway about now, as they're listening on their way home. This is a great time on a Friday night to listen to our show on the way home. Put it on your phone, set it off on your seat. Don't be looking at it while you're driving. It's just a good thing to play as you're driving home. All right, so, all right, where's all these answers? Or did you guys not know? All right, so the White House did say no. Now, this G20 summit, folks, Biden is to meet with Jinping in Bali over tensions of trade in Taiwan. Um, and they said the meeting will take place because there's escalating tensions. Um, and I started reading this article and I said, you know what, I'm going to go see what's going on in Taiwan, because every time Biden has met with Jinping, he has lied to us. The administration has lied to us. The press secretary has lied to us, both of them. So I don't believe what he says. So I went over, and Taiwan, weirdly, is claiming that they feel that China will be striking within the next few days. William, did you hear that one? That they're in fear of being struck within, they're saying within the next 7 days. I'm not sure, I'm going to wait and see. But okay, so I know everybody got this one. Um, so, Judith, the best thing to do is cover everybody's eyes for one of these questions, and you'll be all caught up with them. Um, so this is what over in G20. And G20, all these world leaders get up and they speak about their plans I think the reason Biden is over there, in case people backbite him, he wants to make sure no one's mad at him about this Green New Deal. So many countries now are stepping forward and blaming the United States for the misery that they're going through with no heat, no food, the inflation. According to a lot of them, and that it's being whispered at G20, is that it's the United States that implemented this Green New Deal that was forced upon them by the UN and Klaus Schwab, the Economic Forum, and that this is being forced upon these countries like a communist party rule. Um, so, uh, yeah, yeah. See, Mary, you're like me. I mean, folks, let me know in the chat box over there in um, Facebook. I mean, how many times have they lied to us about this? And I see these articles, and it says Biden said this, or the press secretary said that, or Camilla Harris, and I'm like, they lie. Or Mayorkas, Garland, Sullivan. I'll believe some of the generals, but this G20 summit, what kind of truth are we going to hear from a G20? You know what I say? If you want to know the truth, go watch the videos. Go listen to what other countries have to say. All right, so company. All right, Judith, I'm going to still have your score here. So, and have fun with your company. So, all right. So, we all know who this is. Everybody got it. Judith, you take care, and we'll see you on Monday. Answer is Darwin. The answer is Darwin. Everybody knew Darwin did that. All right, here we go. Onward. Name the sea. Now, you have to think on this. Name the sea that has its Earth's lowest elevation, almost said evolution. Name the sea. Okay, so those listening, name the sea that has Earth's lowest elevation. Boy, I'm going to get stuck on that word. So, what is it? Now, you got to think on this. It's a place. It's definitely a place, and I don't even know how to give you guys any hints on it. All right, so the G Summit. How I say to look at, even though we got these two leaders meeting, and he's going to go on to meet in other countries. I think it's a way to get Joe Biden out of the country during the elections time. He is saying a lot of stuff that isn't true. He's making claims of things he's done, things he did. William, what the heck happened over in Fallujah? Because he mentioned Fallujah, and I went, Fallujah? What's he talking about? And so I went and kind of looked, and I didn't get too far into it. And then he said, oh, I meant Afghanistan. Oh, I meant Ukraine. But I didn't even think he was part of Fallujah. I mean, I think he was a senator back then. I don't think he was a part of Iraq like that. Huh, funny. So we're getting the Dead Sea. We're getting the Dead Sea on some of the questions, or some of the answers, I'm sorry. So now Iran claims now it has developed a hypersonic missile that can penetrate advanced air defense systems. Now we know Iran lies too. I think Biden learned from Iran that you could just tell stories and everybody believes you. But they did say that they did develop a hypersonic ballistic missile that can neutralize air defense systems. And semi-official Tasnim news agency was basically saying the Revolutionary Guard's aerospace commander, he's quoting him. And he said that he addressed the reporters on Thursday, and that basically the ballistic missile has a high velocity that can maneuver below and above Earth's atmosphere. This is something they normally do, though. So the hypersonic missiles can fly at low trajectory, unlike ballistic missiles. and have the potential to reach targets more quickly. So is it better than what anybody else has? No. They're just saying they have them now. Now, I'm wondering, William, what do you think that, you think he was, what? He was, I don't understand that. So, um, um, I think I'm wondering if Iran got them from somebody that, like North Korea or another third world country that have been given some missiles to. Uh, what irks me more than anything is, places like Yemen and Iran and um, Libya, some and Somalia. A lot of these places, do you realize that we have signed, it was through Obama administration that we signed a deal that we can give up to 100 billion a year to different countries just so they can have military weapons to defend themselves. That was in, I believe, Zero Hedge news. So, but I seen it somewhere else too. I believe AP even had a story on this a couple days ago. So, um, so Iran claims it's developed a hypersonic missile. So now we know they have them. It's not just Israel and us and quite a few other countries. All right, so let's see what the answer to this is. We're about halfway through the trivia. I might have to do a few questions. The answer is the Salt Sea. The answer is the Salt Sea. And have to think on that, folks. Okay, name the smallest state in the United States. Name the smallest state in the United States. So no one got the last one. It's because Judith left. She was like had thinking caps on all of you guys. She had decorated thinking caps on y'all. So you think his son? Could that be why he mentioned he's kind of stuck on Fallujah? Is it because of his son? I mean, that's sad right there. If that's what his dementia has taken him, folks. I feel sorry for Joe Biden. I seen him in his prime, and I didn't like him. He was very white supremacist. Did anybody else pay attention to him in the 80s and 90s? I only did because my dad called him a fool, and I had a friend, 25-year long friend, that dumped me over Joe Biden because I called him a fool. I said, yeah, he wanted him to run for president. And I said, oh, no, we don't need him. And that was back when Senator Byrd was alive. So let's see. Anybody know this one? We might have a few. We're going to have to have a few that tie each other up. Karen will have the rope, and William's just going to sit there like a willing participant. I know we're having fun here tonight. It's almost like our fun show earlier. But I'm trying to be serious now. There is a baby that's fighting for life. This is a toy, and I've never seen this. It is, let me see what the name of this is. They are, the beads they put inside toys, like a Beanie Baby or something, and they're like little gel beads that they're putting in a lot of the toys. There was a little baby, 18-month-old baby, that broke one of the toys open and ate a handful of these, and is now dying from toxic poisoning in ICU. They're saying that they might be recalling any toy that has these little beads. It's a chemical containing toxins, they said. This is not just the first time. There's another mother in Portland, Maine, that's been dealing with a heartbreaking discovery with her child. And how many? They're saying there's been at least 20 deaths in this last year of babies that have broken open these toys. And guess where they're made? Made in China, folks. Made in China. Be very careful. Be very, very careful. All right, so let's get move on. So if you got any of those toys with those little beads in it, they said even people will use these toys for their dogs. So if it's got, you know what I do? I give my dog slippers, and when my old ones, and when they tear it open to dig out all the fluff, I take out all the fluff. I take off the eyes or anything on it that's harmful, and then I just let them chew the rest of the slipper up for me. So I'm sorry. So the answer is Rhode Island for those of are playing and answered this. So there's quite a few of you guys that got this one right. So um, and Judith left. All right, where's DB? So okay, here's the next one. All right, this is an easy one. Judith would have got this one. What fruit fell down that made Newton to discover gravity? What is the fruit? What is the fruit that fell down that made Newton to discover gravity? And we got someone in the room pulling ahead on this. All right, so look for those toys, Karen. Be sure. I mean, everybody likes to get those cheap toys. They're so cute, and those little Beanie Baby toys. Some of them they said is even up to the expensive toys. So anything that's stuffed and you feel the little beads in it, get rid of them. Get rid of them. They say that it's a water bead. That's basically the water bead. They're real tiny. They're toxic. So, folks, if you, not even just Karen, but everyone out there, um, basically get rid of these toys. You do not want your baby in ICU dying of chemical toxicity. Chaos at the border. And the DAS of Mayorkas tells the CBP commissioner that he's going to fire him. Well, that's kind of what the chaos at the border was when other Border Patrol agents went ballistic. Um, uh, and that's what they're going to start doing is they're going to start moving people around that do not agree with what Mayorkas wants. He's been slowly doing it, and he told the commissioner to step down. He no longer wants them. This is a Chris Magnus. He wants them to step down, or he's going to fire them. And he basically told the Los Angeles Times uh, he's going to go through with it. Well, then Magnus stepped up and told Los Angeles Times he doesn't plan to resign from his post. He says he's excited about the progress and looking forward to continuing his work, and that he's going to close these borders down. And not only that, but then he was attacked by reporters from CNN on his Twitter. So he said, and he's telling them all, I'm not going to resign. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, if he's, I think the whole thing is because he said he's going to shut the border down. Well, so this was the whole thing that I come up with was I thought the border was already closed, Mayorkas. I thought it was safe and secure. So why would you get mad for this gentleman, Magnus, to say he's going to keep the border secure? Why fire him? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, there you go, Karen. I like that. So, did everybody, let's see. We got Susan. Karen got that one. All right. And, okay. Mary, you're slacking tonight. You're slacking. So, all right, we're going to get through. Oh, it's already on the hour. I'm pretty much into the news, but moving onward. Okay, name this fruit, folks. Do you know what this is? Now, think about it and look at it really hard on your phones. Benjamin Netanyahu basically he wants to put together a new cabinet or a form of government. He said that over time, get this, and he's once been there for a long time, that there are some seniors in there that are not up to, and why can't we do this here? That are not, they're older, and not that they didn't serve their purpose in Israel and have fought very long for their country, but it's now time for them to retire. And he would like to bring in or promote others in the government there in Israel because they said, they really don't have the support or allies, and they have to really be on their toes. And he wants, the way it made it sound like military men to be able to step in, and once Iran does decide to attack them or any other uh, foe or terror group, that they could be spot on and ready to put a plan in to stop them. And I thought, I think this is a good idea, and when we look at the older people that we have in our own government and Senate and Congress. And folks, I like Grassy. I really do, but he's so old. And that worries me, and look at Nader, Nadler. I'm sorry, Nadler. He was a Clinton. I think he still is a Clinton lawyer, and he can't even keep his thoughts together. I think they're all going to be bumping around and joining Feinstein in the closets. And I hate to say that about Dianne Feinstein, but uh, she's getting lost. She doesn't really understand what's going on around her. All right, so I know everybody knew this one. All right. Um, except for Susan and Karen, uh, William gained a point for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I didn't count your guys the same, but he got ahead a point on you guys. I think there was something he got you didn't. All right, so onward. We're going to finish this up. But, folks, this is what, or, term limits. Term limits is what we really do need to do. And every time I vote, I'm signing those petitions for it, and nothing ever happens with them. Okay, up close. Uh, Up close, what kind of cracker is this? You have to kind of think on this, folks, of your color of crackers. It's definitely not a Triscuit. I'll give you that one for a tip. It doesn't look like a Triscuit, folks. Um, so what kind of cracker is this? I had no clue. I was just like, I don't know. I thought it looked like some scrambled eggs starting to cook. Um, but the Operation Gotcha that I started the show with you, they're trying to censor us. And like I said, I'm going to put the video out there so you guys can see this. It will be in our Williams song list playlist, and so you guys can watch it. And I meant to send it to Mary today because I think she might be interested in what this guy has to say about our freedom of speech and how you'll understand why the chaos, the silence, and boom, they're going after us, and the media's going, oh, don't worry about it, folks. All right, so I don't think anybody knows what kind of cracker this is. I don't. William, you know what? You're close. You're close, but I can't eat just the animal crackers with no. I got to have a frosted one with little sprinkles on it. Um, so, but Mary, I think you'll be very interested in this video because I went looking for it and I found it with redacted, and I went whoa. And if the guy wasn't on there speaking, I would question because you get some of these people just like me. If you don't believe me, go look. And I'm going to try to start telling you guys where I find my info from or who I get my info from, because now we're in a time when we can't afford to be lied to. This administration lies and lies and lies and lies. And, we need truth. We need the truth out there. All right. All right. So let me get the answer to this one and we'll finish up with our trivia. The answer is a graham cracker. The answer is a graham cracker. Um, All right. According to size, what is the biggest state in America? I'm going to push you guys. Quick. Answer, answer. I know you guys are delayed sometimes a minute. Where's my sister? No, it wasn't. Mary, that's what it looked like. It looked like a Ritz cracker, but no, it was a graham cracker. I think if it would have had the holes, it would have been the one. These close up pictures get me, but you guys got that pomegranate. I didn't. I looked at and I love pomegranates. My grandkids hate those things. They're like, it's got seeds. It's got seeds. And you know what they do? They chew all the fruit off the side and then they pile all the seeds up. And I'm like, oh, well, I ain't even gonna get you guys no more. All right, so let's see. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the answer out here. Um, the answer is Alaska. The answer is Alaska. We're real close to being done. Rabbits are born blind. Is that true or false? Rabbits are born blind. Is that true or false? Um, and as far as last night go, I hope you guys really did go and watch um, Democracy Hacked. And I told you if you didn't get it when you got in, first came in, it's on Rumble, folks. It's on Rumble. Go to Rumble and pull it up and watch it because you guys will so understand what I'm saying. If you guys kind of was like, well, Ellie, you're a little out there, go watch Bev Harris, folks. Go watch this. And then after that, then watch D'Souza's 2000 Mules. And you'll see that you're going to go, oh, what the heck? We need to get, I don't care who does it. I don't care if it's Democrats, Republicans, the man on the moon. We need to revamp our election system. It's gotten to where it's just too crooked over the decades. And, why not just be fair and whoever wins, wins? We don't have a problem with the Democrats. We do, but we don't have a problem dealing with while they're in office because we know eventually we can get a seat back or that position back. But we don't do to them like they do to the Republicans. This is just horrible, evil. It's absolutely evil. I'm going to agree with some of, and these aren't even pastors that say it. Dan Bongino, Levin, um, um, D'Souza, he's even said it. Quite a few of these a lot of Fox News and the reporters, the morning ones, they all say this is just evil people. And, to want an abortion over feeding your kids? Oh, okay, never mind. All right, so what did we get here? Do we have answers? Rabbits are born blind. You guys know. Is it true or false? I see, well, I see three of them. All right, the answer is true. The answer is true. A group of hedgehogs is known as what? Remember I told you the group of that we earlier? Are they known as higlets, hoglets, or pickles? A group of hedgehogs is called what? See, I gave you a multiple choice on this one. And I didn't make you guys think of it in thin air. So are they higlets, hoggets? I thought hoglets. Hoggets, higlets, hoggets, or pickles? What is a group of hedgehogs called? Uh, so I thought this was a good one. I went, I have no clue. That's why I do the trivia and you guys all answer, and I'm not on the other side of the board because I wouldn't have no clue of some of this stuff. I'm lost. So, all right. All right, so we're going to throw the answer up here, and we're just about done. We only got maybe a few seconds of show left. The answer is pickles. Really? Who come up with that? What makes a hedgehog look like a pickle? Now this, I think, if you eat lobster, you'll know this answer. How many legs a lobster have? How many legs does a lobster have? Huh. You guys know, those driving down the road, they're going to go to Red Lobster tonight and they're going to be counting legs. Ooh, Red Lobster sounds good. Go on out there this weekend and have a big old. I don't like seafood, folks. I don't like fish either. I love to catch fish. I love to catch these little critters, but I just can't. I'm just not a fish person. You know, I catch a real big fish and I take it off the hook and I go to throw it back and everybody around me is going, no, we'll take it. I'm like, okay, okay, you don't get excited. I just don't like fish. And you know, if you do one or two or three, and you know, there's only two people to eat it, what are you gonna do with the other fish? Once you stick it in the freezer, it just to me it smells weird. So anyway, so how many? Everybody should know this. How many legs does a lobster have? We'll have to see here. Now everybody will know, and now go to Red Lobster tonight and eat all those legs. Answer is 10. The answer is 10. Nobody got that one. Yeah. Okay, here's one. A group of kittens is known as what? It's not a litter, folks. Don't throw litter up there. I'm gonna stop you. Litter's what they dig in to poop in. Um, a group of kittens is known as what? Uh, yeah, nobody got the 10 on the lobster. I figured someone would be a hardcore lobster leg person. And they would say, I know. It's over there on Facebook. All those men over there on Facebook that watch his show, get it. You should have got it in the comments when nobody was getting it. Yeah, just throw it in there. Don't be shy. Um, so, what is a group of kittens? You know, the normal house cat and the kittens called. I didn't even know this one. I didn't know this one. So anybody know? Mary says that a group of kittens called Crazy Town. Kittens are Crazy Town. You know what? I had them. I used to save my pickle jars, and the cats used to play in them when they were little tiny things. And one day I heard just screaming coming from my kitchen. And I always had one sitting down around by my fridge because I make iced tea in them. And I go in there, and lo and behold, these kittens got a little bit bigger, fatter, and two of them got stuck and they couldn't get out of this jar. So, you know, of course, I had to reach in, and of course, they wanted to claw my hand up, being the first one out. And I had to yank them out and push one down and yank the other one out. Boy, I tell you. All right, so yeah, yeah, crazy town. No, but that's not the answer. Uh, all right, kitten mafia. Yeah, they are. So it is. The answer is a Kindle. Answer is Kindle. Did you guys know that? Let me know down in the comments over there in Facebook. All right, and we're down. I believe. Um, we're on the last one or two. Which vegetable is also called a lady finger? Is it carrots, okra, or string beans? Does anybody know the answer to this one? Um, yeah, I like Kitty Mafia myself. So it's called a Kindle for the cats. Which vegetable is also called a lady finger? Is it carrots? Is it okra? Or is it string beans? I didn't know this one. We just call them carrots, okra, and string beans, or green beans, or beans. My kids call them beans when they were little, and they still do for some reason. Beans. Um, so what is it? What are called lady fingers? Um, well, I think radishes are too fat to be a lady finger. So that's not definitely not in there. But folks, I'm going to say start growing your seeds close to when we get closer to spring. I'll get on you guys for this. And I'm going to show you some square foot gardening that you can do, or even in planters, because we got to start growing our own food. All right, so let's get the answer out there. Um, I think you guys will be surprised at the answer. The answer is okra. The answer is okra. And I think there is one more, maybe not. Nope, that's all, folks. All right, so tonight, let's see. Let me get the way to go typed in here on our comments. Who do you think won? I think it's going to be a surprise. So we had Karen with 11. We had Susan with 11. Mary had 7. Judith had 4. And William had 12. Way to go, William, on the win for the. And if you guys got more over in Facebook than 12, let me know. And I'll announce your name. I think we're going to start doing little trophies for people like I used to. When I first started the show, we used to do trophies for people that had won. So, all right. So that is it. Please, subscribe and share and tell people about our fun trivia and news. It's so much nice to end the week with a little bit of fun and laughter. But we got the serious news and to move into the weekend and just not worry about what's going on in this world. And just pray on it. We come out the victors in this. I don't know if you noticed for the playlist, I did get William's song out there, and I put one out there because it's kind of stuck in my head. And what's the name of it? With an old movie, it's a corny movie, with Billy Jack. It's called 110 Soldier. Go ahead and hate your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. That's what I feel the Democrats are because, you can justify it in the end. I'm glad I'm not going to be in their boots for what they're doing in our country. So, all right, with that, take care. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back on Monday, and we're going to have a great week. Some serious stuff next week. And Susan will be our caller next week for Thursday. I can't, I'm going to basically tell her what we're going to do, and it'll just be going over the day's news and her opinions. And something that we're going to do every other week or so. I think it's going to be a fun thing. And I'm hoping we get some people out of Facebook that we had never seen before want to be on our show and give their opinions. So subscribe, hit the bell, hit that like button, hit it, hit it, hit it. Keep hitting all the likes. Go and check out the funny picks for this week. It's a big hit. I guess it was a good one this week. I don't know. Those two cats sitting there. Oh yeah, I think that got everyone. And if you want to see the same video, it's over there on our Facebook page. And if you are interested in all these jokes I get, go to Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, you're going to miss out. But it's Facebook Hellions, Holes, and Poles. I usually run it on the ticker at the bottom. So with that, folks, you guys have a wonderful weekend. Keep your water dripping. Anything under 33 degrees. Don't let your pipes freeze. And we will see everyone on Monday. And God bless. And like William always says, fill the churches.